Hello, and welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escape. Do not speak when I'm speaking.
Well, I don't respect you.
This ain't your grandpappy's Ben's D&D show.
If Ben was there, I might have listened. But
Mom's gone to work. Your older brother's in charge now. Using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons, which is three things and has always bothered me, Ben.
Yeah, it's our show now.
Yeah. Let's start this is going to be 2 straight hours of ripping
this
down.
This is a therapy session that I've been gagging for.
And another thing.
Yeah. So as you may have noticed from the 2-panel layout and the blatant disregard for the man who created this show, this is a slightly different episode, non-canonical?
Non-canonical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing
well, it depends how well it goes. It
That's
could
true.
be pretty fucking canonical if it's hot.
It could go canon.
Probably won't. I would set your standards a little bit lower. So we're running what's called a one-shot. For anyone who doesn't know anything about D&D, welcome. But also, this is just going to be a self-contained adventure. The lads are going to be playing characters alternatively different to their own. And I'm in the DM's chair.
I mean, maybe it's just being in the DM's chair that stops you being able to speak.
Yes.
Ben can't speak at all, and
No. When we stop the show, he's completely mute.
Yeah.
It's very unnerving. He's got serial murderer eyes as well.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's
beady
creepy.
Little serial murderer eyes. That's what I've always thought of Ben.
He's lovable,
And
but
bloody
terrifying.
hands constantly covered in warm blood,
dripping from his hands and emanating out.
Man,
Anyway.
I'm glad we're free.
Anyway, he'll be away for 8 to 10 years, so you're stuck with us.
Visitation rights are limited. They don't let us have dice in there. So in the meantime, okay. I'm going to do admin stuff before we start because I've been given homework to do first.
Yes.
That sounds like Ben's actually giving me a list of shit to do. I've just copied what he does because it works. I'm going to do some shout outs to some, I don't know, I'm looking to you. I'm not used to looking at the camera. Some shout outs, which is actually directly underneath Gav. So I'm just looking at his mustache. Hello there. That's really unsettling. Okay, shout outs. Shout out to Syrinscape, who are supplying the soundtrack as you are feeling it drip into your ear holes at this very moment, because Epic Games need Epic Game sounds. Additionally, shout out to our pals Dakota Irish, partners of the show. They make Unreal dice accessories, dice trays. What do you want?
What?
I thought I said something completely wrong.
No. I was just laughing at my own burp.
Oh, very good.
I wasn't paying attention to you at all. Sorry.
I didn't want to fuck up the Dakota Irish thing because they're like Luke, who runs the show, is a very nice guy, makes some great stuff. And actually, this very day, I believe, or maybe it was last night, they posted a new set of dice they have called Paladin's Virtue. I don't know if you saw these. They are beautiful. They're like this kind of crystalline, like pink with like gold lettering on it. Oh,
the gold lettering, it really pops.
It's absolutely beautiful. I'm probably going to grab some. Paul, our tech guy, is giving us a resounding thumbs up. I think he's probably going to grab some. Plug for us, you can find us on social media. We are everywhere as Homebrew Quest, except for where you're watching right now on Twitch, unless you're in the future, in which case, how's that going for you? On Twitch, we are Homebrew Show. Homebrew Quest on Twitch still have not reached out to us, so give us that.
Yeah, give me it.
Give me it.
Give us a go.
Give me that.
Give us a go.
But if you have any questions or want to talk to us in a more formal, best regards setting, you can email us at rollforhomebrew@gmail.com.
If you don't end it with best regards, we're not ever gonna.
I mean, all business jargon should go there. Things like best practices.
Has to be dear sir, madam.
Things that are going forward.
Yes.
Yeah. I like things to be actioned.
Yes.
Actionable. Yes. Actionable items.
Can I just double click on the action points?
Yeah.
On that one. Yeah.
Great. Great synergy, guys. Let's keep pressing forward. Cool. So this is a D&D show, mostly focused on, if you haven't picked up on that, because there's been no D&D so far.
Tell people what they're watching. That's the first rule.
We're going to base it in off-brand Irish Celtic mythology. The world is and people we meet are the nouns basically are inspired by the beers that we drink, which has inspired us to start drinking some weird shit. I am drinking at the moment some Crystal Providence New England Pale Ale, and I got it because it's pink and pretty and it's like matte and very nice.
Who's he?
And it makes a satisfying sound.
According to our sound guy, doesn't sound that satisfying.
Yeah, Angus, our sound guy, just
Yeah.
winced something
He hated
fierce.
that.
I could feel it in my peripheral vision. So to get us straight into the action, which is a word. Normally our games are, I'm doing fine. Our games are normally set in a world called Hibernia, which is just spewed forth from our DM Ben's brain. However, we will set our adventure in a land adjacent to the land where anything is possible, but not always probable. A land called Hybrasil. A completely fictional world. Shut your mouth, Angus. A completely fictional world.
Is it High Brazil or is it like IGH, like high, like up High Brazil?
It's just the HY.
Oh,
but if you choose,
okay,
but if you choose to politely wave back, that's completely fine.
Okay.
So we will start our adventure. Unless there's anything else, any other bullshit you guys want to deal with? Because I've had a lot of bullshit here.
Yeah, cool. What we're doing bullshit. Ben never does that.
No, mine is bullshit. I would like you to add to it so it
we're good.
dilutes mine.
Yeah, I'm good. No bullshit.
It's up to you.
The bullshit from us will come.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time for our bullshit.
Oh, I should explain the. Oh, that's nice actually. That's very enjoyable.
Yeah, let's get distracted.
Providence, drink it. Actually, what are you boys drinking at the moment, just for future characters?
Well, I'm just drinking Heineken. All right. Normally, I have fancier beers.
You do. That's normally your thing, but that's a very fancy bottle.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Like
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to find out what the actual name. Oh, it's a Rascal. Yeah,
It's a Rascal's
Absolute Brute
Brute.
IPA grapefruit.
Ooh, that's some good lettering.
It was really nice.
Yep.
I like that they have notions written on it. That's very important
nice.
for the champagne.
Is it just like a bunch of random words, or just the word notions?
No,
No,
the
it's-
notions is at the bottom, and the rest of it's just the description. Super dry, sparkling, champagne style, grapefruit IPA.
If you describe that beer in one
Notions.
word, go.
Notions.
Okay, I don't know why. Heineken in one word.
Delicious.
Okay. I'm gonna go with thick for mine.
Thick, very nice. Yeah,
an easy
delicious
one.
wasn't really a great way to describe Heinemite, but
Oh, Heinemite is better. Let's replace it for that. Okay, so the lads are playing new characters that they have not prepared. I think there's been a small amount of anxiety in preparation for this because I've said don't prepare anything. We're going to build characters in the top of the show. And I don't really want to over-explain it, but we're going to dive straight into that process.
Right.
So you've left your bodies. You are now in a game, in a board game without a board. You are surrounded by darkness. Darkness like none you've never known. You float aimlessly in this cold expanse. You feel simultaneously alone and surrounded by other life. The life teems around you, but it too is completely motionless. There's an air of lethargy and hopelessness and sort of weird guppy-like expressions. Above all else, you feel complete, one half of a whole, and you drift. You feel it's sort of like when you're in dark water and like a fish brushes past you. But you're like, gross. A voice reaches out to you. You hear it sort of in your mind rather than your ears. And it's sort of a soft-spoken, reverberating voice that spreads through. It says, I found you. Can you hear me? And you, as soon as you hear the voice, you both feel a second person. So now there are... Yeah. So now the three of you are sort of linked in conversational, ethereal floatiness.
How I like it.
And you just feel the sort of familiarity with the voice. It feels welcoming, like an old friend. And now that you've been linked with this voice, the two of you realize that you know each other as well, though it's not clear how yet. And the voice reaches out and says, we don't have much time. You've sort of been here for a while. Do you remember anything? Do you remember? Oh God, you're lost souls. Do you remember what you look like? And you can feel the voice direct to you, Kelan. Okay. Let's start basics. Were you big or small? And yeah, so basically we're going to start building your have your soul is going to start remembering what your body was like.
Okay. Big.
Big. Okay.
Christ. Why did I say that?
Well, big is open to interpretation. You can be tall or fat or whatever. Okay, big. That's good. No, you're right. You're completely right. That's good. Were you strong? Were you sort of frail? I can't give you the answers.
Frail. Who says that of themselves? I'm
self-esteem.
frail.
Were you anything? Were you plain? Did you have distinguishing features? Anything monstrous about you? A tail, a scar?
I had a scar. across my chest, all the way down across my giant big chest.
Your giant big chest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I remember that. Ears? Were they round, pointy? What was your skin color? If you don't mind me asking, that's a bit personal. I'm so sorry.
Grey.
Grey. What about the ears? I need the ears. That's important.
It's very small.
Small.
Tiny ears.
Small, tiny ears. Do you remember your name? Feel free to use beer for inspiration or not.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
We've got a whole table of the motherfuckers.
I'm gonna go with Vice.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, Vice.
That's
spelled with a W. W-E-I.
Alright, we'll still take it.
No, Vice. V-I-C-E. But this is, I'm getting it from a Vice beer.
Oh my
Damn,
god,
that's a good name.
that is a good name. Good luck following that shit.
Mr. Heineken.
I've got another beer over there.
Yeah, ale.
Okay,
Sorry.
so Vice. Cool. Okay, so like from a mechanics point of view, are we going human? With the small ears, or what are you thinking?
I wasn't thinking at all. I was only answering your question.
Okay, that's good. That's completely fine. We'll go with that. In the Gav, you feel the voice turn to you. It's like, okay. I mean, you've kind of got a vibe for how things are going here. Do you? First things first. Are you a boy or a girl?
I didn't get that.
I'm a man.
Okay. We'll get there. That's a lot of confidence. Were you can, like, if a disembodied voice could roll its eyes, this one does. Were you handsome or were you ugly?
Damn straight I was handsome. Handsomest in all the land.
You sound pretty heroic as well. I suppose you saw yourself as a hero?
Yes, I believe I was a hero. I fought for the gods.
For the gods, yes. No, God, I remember that. You told a lot of stories about that. Any distinguishing features? Did you have horns or shiny teeth?
Very shiny teeth. Pearly white. And gigantic.
Yes, you were more teeth than man, if I recall. Okay. Skin tone?
Bronze. Like the juiciest of olives.
Oh, you can hear this kind of this. You sort of hear this a groan. Kind of, what was your name?
My name? Ha! How could you forget my name? I was Lagunitas.
How have we not used that yet? It's so good. Lagunitas. Bueno. Okay, this is good, and you can feel like once you've started describing your forms, it feels like you've gone less from disembodied like cloud to more sort of a glass-like shape of your old form.
Well, that checks. I'm frail, so you know.
Yeah, Vice, you kind of reassume your large, frail form.
Yeah. Large, frail, and grey.
You're kind of like a glass tea house or a teapot.
I'm glad I got to go first.
Yeah.
The difference between both, you can't really tell that there was a difference.
I don't
between
think you
how
guys would
either of
hang
us
out.
approached this.
Yeah, your form sort of starts to solidify, and you're still effectively floating in a tank like you were before. But it still feels like you're a soul in a case, but you're not in your body yet. There's something kind of blocking that trajectory, and the voice reaches out to you again, Vice. Okay, now listen. I feel like I know what's wrong. I'll be honest. This is my first time recovering a soul, but
my first time too. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, Lagunitas. Have you done this before?
Not that I can recall.
Okay, that's good. That makes me feel a little less self-conscious.
For that, I suppose.
We're all in this together, guys. Okay, so, it's hard to tell from the way you're looking, but before we go too far into your memories, Vice, were you a boy or a girl? I've actually never known, so I can't confirm.
I was a boy. I was a large, frail boy. He's a man. He's a big hero.
He's a man and you're a boy.
I'm a large, frail boy. Very specifically.
Oh, I love
with
it.
Small ears.
It's the most defining feature.
Tiny ears.
That made all the smaller by how shockingly large
Great
you
name,
are.
but other than that.
That's the thing. It's a name like on a human being, the name is wasted on such a weird looking person.
Grey,
I just answered questions.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. Okay, so Vice the boy, Vice the big boy.
Vice the boy.
Do you remember anything about what was your area? Were you from a kingdom? Were you from a small town? Where were you from?
I was from a small village. I can't quite remember because I'm dead, I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I can kind of see the village, and I see you getting ready for something. You're waiting, and there's a fight about to happen. There's someone fighting now, and you're sort of waiting in the wings, but it's not.
Aye, that'd be the big wrestling fight.
Wrestling?
The town does. The old wrestle. You know, the town wrestle? You never had
the wrestle, yes. No, that's it. And you can hear this chanting, but are they chanting for the other guy, or are they chanting for you?
Well, are they saying Vice?
Tell you what,
Roll it down.
I'm gonna give you +2 to charisma because you have to be charming with a body like that. So I would like you to roll charisma. So just roll a d20.
Okay.
And add +2 to it, and this is gonna be whether or not the crowd is in your favor.
Then 20 with the +2.
20. Yeah, they're chanting Vice, Vice, Vice. And as you like,
Vice the frail boy, Vice the frail, Vice the frail.
I think that's sort of like you start to remember that was your whole kind of thing.
That's my saying. Yeah,
it's the opposite of Homer in The Simpsons, where he just waits till they get tired. You can't take one punch, so you have to take them out quick, which is why it's always a spectacle. Like you destroy them before they have a chance to touch you.
You describe me looking like glass. I'm very like glass. Actually.
You are Vice the Shatterable.
Yeah. If I had a vice, it'd be how frail I was.
So you start to remember these memories as you step out into the crowd, and your coach is standing there. This small halfling woman with missing an eye.
All right, coach.
She comes over like, "You're looking good, kid. You're looking good. The beautiful boy, the beautiful glass boy, ready to win."
That's what they call me.
And as you look over, and your opponent's sort of cracking like fingers, wrists, shoulders, neck, everything. This enormous like.
I'll tell him not to worry because I'll be doing that for him very soon.
She doesn't seem phased, and you see this like enormous half-orc woman turns around with 2 broken tusks and just this sullen face. She goes like, "I'm a lady."
Well, I'm a boy. The glass frail boy, Vice. Do I have a mask?
Do you? Yes, you were wearing a mask.
Yeah, cool.
What was on the mask?
It's just bright and colorful. A lot of spikes with a border.
Okay. Colorful spike
not really
mask.
a thing, just colorful and design-wise spiky, not actually.
Oh, I thought it was like
just triangles.
Was that your tactics? You just face butt them.
I mean, in wrestling, I actually just bring in a spiky helmet and I headbutt everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Your coach comes up to you, and she has something in her hand. No, that's kind of blurry. What? I think she's handing you a weapon. What was your weapon? Did you have a weapon?
Nope. No, she must be handing me water.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm an unarmed wrestler.
Okay. Yeah, she hands you this like enormous jug of water. She's like, "Get this into you."
Yeah. That's good.
She like before you put it to your lips, she puts a hand on top. It's like, "I put a little extra something in it there. I mean, we got regular water if you want it, but if you want to break this girl in half." I don't know what that means. You shake sweat all over me. Yeah. You want to take the special water, or you want to take the regular?
Oh yeah, I'm not crazy. She's the old half orc, the lady. She's a lady. She's a lady. I don't know why.
Whoa.
You gotta take the special water. Everyone knows that.
Okay, so you guzzle down the water, and you now get a +2 to all strength focus checks.
Okay, that's good.
But the withdrawal is going to be a bitch. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So the match begins. Your coach is chanting from the side, and I'd like you to make a. So it's going to be +4 total, because you get the +2 from your strength. So your regular strength is going to be +2.
Oh, okay. So then I've got +4 strength.
Yes.
Okay.
So make a.
All of my stats.
Exactly. This is all.
So,
it's almost like I'm making it up.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, make an attack roll against your opponent.
Cool. So to roll to hit.
Roll to hit. Well, it's gonna be roll for success, really.
I'm +4.
+4.
So 17.
17. Okay. It's sort of like a two-handed, the handshake from the start of Predator, with Schwarzenegger and Apollo Creed.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Thank you.
I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus.
That's basically You're a veiny glass boy, and you can. Which is the name of a special homebrew branded dildo you can buy right now.
That veiny glass boy with the spiky mask.
Yeah, it's got the spike on the end if you're brave enough to go that far.
But watch out, it's incredibly frail.
No refunds.
No refunds.
You have to buy another one. It comes in a 5-pack.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Someone's got a weekend planned. Okay, yeah. So you lock hands and you can feel the half-orc kind of leaning in and squeezing your frail hands quite tightly.
I blow a kiss at her.
She goes to like you can see she pulls back, her lips pull back in a sneer, and she goes to like offer some sort of insult in your direction. You just give a little towards her. She goes, "What the?" And then you like let go of your grip completely, swing around to the other side around the waist, back. What there's a word for this wrestling move when you
tiger flip.
suplex.
I was
Yes,
gonna guess suplex. Yeah.
you suplex and basically you slam her up to like her shoulders into the ground, and her legs hang limply in the air, and the crowd erupts. And as soon as the crowd erupts, you kind of and the voice goes, "That's it! Yes, no, I remember. I was in the crowd for that one. That was incredible."
Oh yeah, that was my best one. Probably. It was a good one anyway.
I remember. It's pretty good. I remember you were Vice the Glass Monk. I remember that.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. A monk. Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah, because there's the what was it, the Tavern Brawler. There's Wrestler subclass.
Drunken Master.
Yeah, there's
Oh, drunken man. That sounds right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it wasn't water. It was alcohol.
yes.
There you go.
That makes more
There we
sense.
go. Yeah.
Let's retroactively change
Yeah,
that.
which is why I blew a kiss at her. I was a little
You were hammered.
I'm a boy. I shouldn't be drinking. It's the youngest drunken master. It's very illegal. It's very illegal to learn this.
Very illegal
You know,
indeed.
They don't let you learn drunken master. You know, when you're this young. But
What are you doing sober? Get the fuck out of my dojo.
what's this 5-year-old doing so good at being the drunken master?
How did we launch an
He's
entire live stream show about drinking beer and none of us are playing a drunken master monk?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I know, yeah.
It was a. Yeah.
This is extremely
I'll just
amateur.
kill Huck.
Still time to multi-class.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be really interesting.
Sorcerer / drunk master.
Huck is going to learn the best way to make friends is to get hammered with them. Okay, so you feel Lagunitas. You feel all of a sudden this kind of, and you are now alone with the disembodied voice. It's you alone floating around with the voice. It's like, okay, so this seems to be working. Christ, you're burlier than I imagined.
Pretty staunchy as well.
You are
And hench.
You are hench AF, and it feels good to be back, at least somewhat connected to your extremely broad shoulders and chiseled chin. But you're not. It's almost like it's behind glass. You can't quite touch it yet. It's like, okay, I'm getting pretty good at this. I'm sort of like a reverse exorcist. Do you remember anything? Where did you grow up?
Why, I grew up in a castle. I'm from a noble family.
Yes, no, that checked out. We never talked about it because, frankly, I find it hard to talk to you for any length of time. But
Understandable.
you struck me as royal, all right, and I can see it now. This is making sense. You were walking down a dark alleyway, which isn't your usual thing, and I remember. Yeah, you told me about this. It was a bit strange, and you're walking down a dark alleyway in your family's kingdom, like you own this whole kingdom. This doesn't matter if it's midnight or whatever time. Where are you walking back from?
Me, I'm walking back from a joust. I like to see the men go about their sport, slap some bottoms, and just pound some chests, you know?
Had
And
some bottoms.
my father always told me not to wander home at night. Our family, though wealthy, isn't respected. Cruel as the Dickens is what we are to the fiefs. So he always told me not to walk home at night, but I thought, I'm the burliest man I or anyone I know knows. So
You're the burliest man you know.
I'm the burliest man I know.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so you are walking home from a joust. It's gotten quite late. You trounced the opponents quite handily.
All the bottoms were slapped.
There was, while I think people challenged you just wanting to wipe the shitting grin off your face, and you were not wanting to disrespect an opponent, just did not hold back and took on all comers. And you've taken sort of almost to defy any danger there might be. You purposely take like kind of the dark alleys home, and you round a corner and see this a person being attacked by 5 unruly wretches. They're hammering the shit out of him, and you notice there's a pouch at your foot that has a sizable amount of gold coins, and no one seems to have noticed you yet. What did you do?
Why, I rushed to scatter the hooligans. I have enough money.
Okay, so are you attacking them or trying to bargain with them? Oh, sorry, you have enough money as in you don't need to take the coin pouch.
I don't need to take the coin pouch.
I thought you meant I have enough money to buy them off.
I don't think it'll come to fighting. They'll see my broad shoulders, they'll see my giant biceps, and they'll run away.
Okay. So in that case, okay, so you're running up to these guys.
Flexing.
Like running with. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you a +2 to charisma also, because this just makes you're both either end of the charisma scale. Yeah. So roll a +2 to. Are you charming or intimidating these fools? Are you persuading them with your muscles?
Kind of a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah. It's intimidating, but in the most charming way. It's like, you don't want to be struck by this.
Okay. Yes. So roll with a +2 to intimidate them with your muscles.
That's a 5.
So you run towards them. You run towards them, flexing your arms, and instinctually you make the like Mr. Universe pose where you kind of like turn sideways and pop your legs as well.
Yeah.
So you just kind of turn sideways mid-run and fall in flat, and kind of slide towards them. And it's a really mucky, grimy floor, and it's in a muffled voice. They're gonna and you lift a muddy face out of the dirt, and you see 5 grimy criminal bandit dirty men surrounding you, looking down. And at the corner of your eye, you can see what now seems to be a nobleman covered in blood, and his arm is bent at a very irregular manner. But he's backed into the corner. He can't run away. And he kind of looks absolutely terrified and thankful at the same time. And one of the bandits like peers down to your face like, "Oh, I know this geezer. You're one of them from the castle, ain't you?"
That's right. Lagunitas is my name. Nobility is my game.
I bet money's your game too. Probably get a bit if we were to hold ransom for you.
Absolutely. My family is very wealthy.
He kind of pauses and looks back to his mate. He's a bloody idiot. So we're also going to take a -1 to intelligence, I think, for you.
I think so.
Which is so endearing. Cool. So
Just
one.
-1.
There's going to be there's wisdom to deal with as well.
Yeah.
This is book smarts, but there's general street smarts, which is wisdom.
Yeah.
He might know a book. Okay, so they haul you up and put you on your to your feet, and one of them swings at you. What are you gonna do?
I'd say I try to duck, maybe.
Okay, so you kind of like non-confrontational resistance, kind of avoiding them, or are you just trying to?
No, it's going to be a kind of duck, pop up, and
Okay.
give him the old one too.
So you are going to try and counterpunch.
I'm going to try and counterpunch. Yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll with +2.
That's 8.
That's okay. So you're just gonna bop.
Bop, bop, boppity-bop.
But it seems like you've connected directly on to the nose, but it seems like this nose is broken several times before, and it does kind of cave a little bit, but it almost springs back, and he looks kind of shocked. He's like, "That actually didn't hurt that much. I think we can take this guy." And the bandit horde are now like a little bit bolstered, and you can see out of the corner of your eye there's sort of a city guard watch walking down towards you, but you are in dark shadow, so it looks like they will eventually reach you, but they're not there just yet. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep fighting these guys? Do you want to make a run for it?
So I've seen the guard.
The guard, they'll be here in like 20. They'll probably see you in about 20 seconds.
Okay.
Um,
They'll see me. Okay, so I've seen them. I'd shout to the guard.
Yeah.
Guard, don't worry. I'll handle these ruffians.
Okay. They kind of stop in their tracks, and they're looking around. They can't really see where the voice came from. Then they start to they unsheath swords and start walking towards the darkness. You can hear them kind of muttering, sort of preparing for a fight, but they're not really entirely sure what's going on. And the rest of the bandits, they're going to spring at you again. They're all going to attack you at once.
Okay.
So make another strength roll to see what happens here.
That's 10.
Okay.
Why you can't roll?
This is great.
So the bandits jump on you, and you like you're unfazed by their digs. Like it really hurts, but you can't like show weakness. So you're getting cracked in the face, popping them in the jaw, and
What for?
like you are connecting. All these punches are connecting, but they're just these devils are so blasted strong, and you like end up dropping to one knee, but still like smiling with like blood in your teeth, like confident you can hold it together. And then just as the guards are about to enter the darkened shadow of your alleyway, you hear this resounding explosion, and one of the bandits like falls dead to the floor, and you look over in the corner, and the noble's holding this like smoking tube-like device that we would know as a flintlock pistol, but seems sort of like, you know, it as like the most bizarre abstract device you've ever seen, and he drops it to the ground as his hand seems like scorched from the use of it, and he looks up, he's like, I can't really help much more than that, and he passes out, and the bandits disperse in absolute terror and run into the guards, and they draw swords and start to run towards them. Do you chase after them?
Yeah, I say I chase after them. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. So maybe I noticed that the
One has been killed.
Yeah, one has been killed by the pistol. I'd say I'd maybe pick up the pistol.
Okay.
And go, what a blasted device is this? Well, let's give it one more what for.
Okay. So, you run after the bandits, and with the town guard manage to subdue the rest of them, getting a few licks in finally. And you also have a...
Kicking them while they're down. They're
Exactly.
already dead. I told you not to mess with me.
And you also gain a medieval pistol, which has one use, which will do 1d8 range damage, but deal 1d4 damage to you. Okay. And with that, you can feel yourself in the void kind of reconnecting with your physical form. Mm-hmm. And you can, just this distant voice, as you get pulled away from this soul void, I absolutely nailed this. And you wake up, you are both in your physical bodies, like leaned up against a wall in a dank tunnel. You can hear this kind of like dripping of water, and you're met with this sort of a medium build metal clad knight with a large face plate down in front, and it's an enormous spear on their back, and you can hear this. It's so good to see you two.
It's you.
And you are greeted by a furball woman with a smushed nose, dark freckles across her face, and you can see these ginger strands of hair coming down her face. And now that you're back connected with your physical forms, you start to remember that this is Tip Tango, known as the Metal Man. Wink, wink. Watch our Q&A episode. It's
I wasn't even there.
One of our few times that we won't name a character after a beer. Well, we did.
Yeah, we did. Metal Man's beer.
Yeah. We created her with, well, sort of with chat. You
sort of with chat. Yeah.
Certainly not with Angus or Paul or
with Angus was there. Angus was there. It's so good to see you guys. I'll be honest, that was my first reverse exorcism. Never really done it before. Wasn't entirely
Is that
sure.
what that was?
Yeah. So I don't.
How did we get in that place in the first place?
Okay, so I see we've kind of reconnected a few little bits of your memories, but there's a few bits still missing. First of all, nice armor.
Thank you. So
I'm gonna assume, Lagunitas, that you're a fighter of some sort or a paladin. Do you think you're magically inclined? Now that you're back in your body, you can feel this sort of. It's either a surging of like martial prowess or divine energy, or is there anything else?
Well, judging from the thing, not martial prowess. Let's say divine energy.
Okay, so
not
we go
marital prowess either.
marital prowess. Okay, so let me just do this thing that I should have had prepared.
I doodled my character. I don't know if that's how you.
That is absolute. Please hold it up to the
Oh my god. It looks like Slender Man.
Well, yeah, it's difficult to be large and frail. So.
That is not at all what I pictured.
Well, you're the DM, so you can change
Oh
it.
no, that's much better. He's like a mummy without any wraps.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, I mean large and frail. So I'm really
large
tall,
and frail.
but like
oh god,
definitely
that's
thin.
so. Yeah, hang on. That's So creepy.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you're a bad guy.
I only have a black pen, so graying out my skin was
Is that a Union Jack for his pants?
No, that's just the classic spikes I was describing.
Oh yes, of course.
The bordered spikes.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Essentially
See, I thought this was like the kind of the mummy or the pharaoh headdress.
No, I
sort
was
of
going
thing.
Mexican. Face.
I have a question about the bald toes.
Yeah, it's side feet. Look, I didn't think anyone was going to be looking at them. To be honest,
And yet you offered this
I gave
freely.
up on the feet and the hands.
I love it so much, and that is so good.
So spooky.
you can
so
tell my ears are
spooky.
tiny. They're non-existent, in fact.
Okay.
This, particular.
So, are you both human?
Christ, I did draw
Most
human,
certainly.
didn't I?
That's completely
I
fine.
can't arguably. I can't be anything else. Can I?
You can.
I don't know.
Yeah, it seems
It
very
seems very human. Well, no.
But at the same time,
gray,
unhuman.
Yeah, gray is a bad plan.
If I meant this in reality, I would not say that it's human.
What about an
It's
incredibly?
extra dimensional. This is
Oh Christ!
Okay, you have a think there,
I'll have a think. Yeah,
sir.
a really tall dwarf.
For Lagunitas, I think you sound like an oath of devotion. Like you're a very devoted guy.
completely
Yes.
devoted.
Absolutely, I thought that sounded about right. So let's just do a quick. We're gonna do a generation. Click to create character. We're using fastcharacter.com, which is okay. So it randomly generates a name. We're not getting rid of Lagunitas because I love it too much, but it gives you a random name and it gave you a title. So you are Lord Joseph Inderweed.
So I'm Lord Lagunitas Inderweed.
If you choose to be.
I so choose.
I didn't expect the Lord, to be honest. That's fantastic. And we'll have to modify that sheet slightly. But what we'll basically do is, so you guys got bonuses like +2 strength, plus charisma, or whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna add that on top of what it has given you as a default level 5 character.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
So you actually, this has given you a +4 to strength. So you actually have a +6 to strength.
Whoa.
Even so, you've come on in strength since your alleyway escapade. So I think that kind
well,
of was.
did I describe how broad my shoulders were?
I think you basically learned to start lifting that maybe you weren't quite as strong as you thought you were. It gave you a default -1 to intelligence, which means that you actually have a -2. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go to Vice.
Yeah. So really, really, really tall.
Yeah.
Goblin.
Okay. I am okay
Hobgoblin
with that.
Small ears, yeah.
I
I
don't know
am.
about how. I just went straight goblin. I don't actually. I should know more about 5th edition goblins, but I don't.
No. I like this a
Anyway, I
lot.
don't know what I did there.
It does have hobgoblins. Amazing.
Are they grey?
They are usually red,
I mean-
but I'd say you're grey.
Okay.
Because I think you're grey.
Yeah, I am grey. I mean, yeah, I am. I said that.
Well, unless you choose to change it, we can retroactively.
No,
Nope.
I've already colored
Why
it
is it
in.
only giving me weigh the 4 elements, weigh the shadow, weigh the open hand? Oh, is it a weird subclass that's not here? We'll figure it
Master.
out.
Yeah, Drunken Master's in.
Look, I can get drunk and punch people. It's not,
We'll
we
figure
don't
it
need
out.
a-
We can
an
update
official-
it. This is. It
I'll just get drunk and
doesn't
punch
give me any
people.
benefits.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. So we will over the break. Basically, we will update some actual character sheets so you can have some informed decisions about what you're doing.
Nice.
I'd rather not.
Oh, that's fair.
Get drunk and punch people sounds like a pretty good plan.
This works.
Incredibly tall, like 7-foot goblin.
It's really, really fucking
Yeah,
creepy.
massive goblin.
It's
unbelievable that I got into this wrestling, small town wrestling.
oh yeah. So I think you came from like a troop of hobgoblin wrestlers, but you were the biggest and the most boyish.
Yeah. See, goblins
is
never
bo-
grow up into men. That's
Yeah.
what everyone knows that.
That's it.
Everyone.
Yeah,
Goblins
it's not an
remain
age
boys.
thing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just an attitude thing.
Yeah.
You're a boy by nature, you
Yeah.
know?
Little known fact: hobgoblins literally never hit puberty.
Yeah.
They're always
Always boys.
prepubescent, terrifying, and it
Nah,
actually
look,
makes it more unsettling
You're
when people
throwing
murder
boy
them.
around as if it's prepubescent or young or anything else. I mean, a boy's just a boy. I'm just a boy. I'm just a boy.
Oh, yeah.
You're a hob boy.
Yeah, hobboy.
Hob boy.
Hobboy.
Ooh, that sounds like
Gob-
a
gob-
Catholic
yeah,
church
let's just
thing.
stick with goblin. Yeah,
Yeah, stick with goblin.
hobgoblin.
Okay.
You went hobgoblin.
So that is who you are as people.
Wonderful.
Great. That's what I've
um,
always wanted to be.
you look forward at your extremely lengthy legs. Feels good to be back
Do
in your
goblins
own.
have tiny ears?
They do
No.
now, or at least
not-
you do.
I have really tiny goblin
You're
ears.
grey.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
By
kind of a
goblin
bit weird.
standards,
By
yeah.
goblin standards. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're.
Massive.
I mean, we've pretty much established that Vice is a walking freak show,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but powerful.
Who are you calling a freak show?
Yeah.
I am so thin that I have a 6-pack.
That's just
the other.
that's just your lunch of
It's
rocks.
the
that
other
you
way
ate.
of going with six packs. You know, the muscles. My skin is so tight and
Right. It's just as your muscle recedes, you just must lose more weight.
yeah, the muscles are just a certain size. You know, so once you get
Muscles
thin
are
enough,
just a certain
once you get
size.
Yeah.
that in goblins.
Need to remember
is-
all this
this
shit
is
for
canon.
t-shirts will never sell.
Glass cannon.
Glass cannon. Yep. Okay. So as you sit in the dank cave, you start to remember that sort of where you are. You are actually in the kingdom Lagunitas that you are from. What was that kingdom called?
That
beers?
kingdom was called. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I shouldn't have left this beside beside Paul's very hot laptop.
I've got
It was called Pompamacello.
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 The kingdom of
John
Pompamacello.
Pompamacello.
That is perfect. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Hang on.
Here's Pompamacello if you want to have a look
Yeah,
at it.
I do. Pompamacello. Because spelling is difficult.
Yeah. Well, it's a long word.
Pompamacello. Got it.
Pompamacello. Beat your body. I mean, it goes.
So
with
we're basically in
Hybrasil
via Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
good.
So, Tip Tango explains that you are actually in the
I'll drink
crypts
that
underneath the castle of Pompamacello Keep. I was trying to think of it. Castle Pompamacello. There we go. And you've been hired by your family to investigate that there is apparently a hidden treasure
So
deep down
rich
below.
they pay their own family.
It's you Vice suspect that
Jobs for the boys.
Vice you suspect that Lagunitas family may have orchestrated this just to get rid of their son for a little while and send him on an adventure.
And voice them onto me.
And
An incredibly normal, giant, tall, frail goblin man.
I'm just trying to live a normal, quiet life.
Just living my normal monk, drunken master, wrestling goblin life.
Lagunitas, you don't need the money, but you feel like you're being paid as just to make you feel like you're one of the common people. Like this is an exercise in making you feel
It's
more
work
grounded.
experience.
Vice, you think they might be trying to get him killed potentially, but you were also
Am I
issued.
getting him killed?
Sorry,
Nothing.
you were also getting paid.
Good.
You've been hired as one of the more fearsome wrestlers in the surrounding area.
That's true.
I mean, undefeated. You are undefeated.
It's wrestlers, though.
Wrestlers, I beg your pardon. I only just got that somehow. Yes, but you were assigned Tip Tango the Metal Man, one of the more distinguished knights in the Pompamacello army. And she's basically been guiding you down to these tunnels where there is apparently a lost city of great treasure way beneath Castle Pompamacello.
My family has lost more treasure than any family has ever lost.
That, I'll be honest with you, that's not really a brag.
It's a great boast. Yeah.
Yep. I
That's-
mean, look, we're still pretty rich, and we've lost most of the treasure.
Isn't most of your money coming from the taxing of the people?
Yes, and we lose about 60 to 70% of that, I would say, on average.
That's horrifying. My father at home is actually, well, he's struggling to make ends meet.
Shouldn't have decided to be a peasant then.
I can't really argue with that, I'll be honest with you.
Good thing wrestlers don't pay any tax. Just decided that.
No tax? What?
We should keep moving.
It's a tough business, wrestling. You basically die every match. Other people do. I don't. I've won all of them.
Is that Vice's outlook? You die every match. I don't because another way to look at it would be you murder someone every match.
I will die every match because I'm so frail.
That's fair.
So
The stakes have never been higher.
I go in. That's the only reason I win is because everyone else is just playing on like a lovely, playful wrestling game.
Yeah, they don't take
I'm
it
there to
seriously.
kill them because I'll die.
I can't knock you out because you might get angry and get better and then kill me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frailty is really it's the cornerstone of a good wrestler.
Frailty is its own reward. So you guys probably don't remember this because I imagine it was a pretty harrowing experience, but there's someone else down here in these tunnels. He's gone a bit further on. He seems to be controlling or at least affecting your dead relatives, Lagunitas.
What? All of them?
Well,
Including Heineken and Beavertown?
I'll be honest.
Surely not Beavertown. My favorite uncle.
One of
Told him that.
One of them did indeed have
Not even a nickname.
I noticed one of them had a big set of teeth, but they were undead ghouls, so it was hard to
And
find.
an undying love of beaver.
You really went out of town on that beaver.
He
Do
really went to town on the beaver.
you want other names?
Yes. Oh, we've already used that.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's not burn all the
Okay,
beers
yeah,
on dead like skeletons and shit.
No, you have to fight some skeletons. You know, you're gonna name them all.
Well, we've got a whole series of a show to run. Let's not burn all the good beer
Yeah.
until we get sponsored.
Until we get sponsored.
And Peeperton,
And then
if you're not sold yet, you'll never be.
We could name virtually every skeleton in this beaver town if you want. Like, that's just
Nuts.
saying that.
This implies it's a woodland grave. So sorry, I got distracted there just thinking of the horrific fights.
But all of my relatives are being controlled. That's not good at all.
Well,
some of them were fearsome fighters.
yes, and
Others, huge wimps.
that's
It was a big family.
I'm getting the impression.
I think it's sort of like the deeper down we go, the more accomplished fighters are buried.
Ah,
Sort
Game
of
of
like-
Death style.
Sort of every level becomes more difficult.
I see.
So why is his family here at all?
Yes.
We passed them a while ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what
The
I
immediate family.
Yeah.
Uh,
They've already lined up my crypt right on the top floor of the castle.
Great view of the kingdom.
I insisted on it.
So I can photosynthesize from beyond the grave. Okay, just need to take him up because Angus is having a heart attack. So the last time we crossed swords with this guy, he sort of, the only way I can think of it is he dislodged your souls. You guys just sort of dropped. I'll be honest, I thought you were dead.
I remember that.
But fortunately, I'm shit hot at magic. And she like snaps her fingers and this green arcane energy just kind of flourishes and disappears.
Holy moly.
Whoa.
I know. And like that plus like, more because I'm not trying to kill you. But,
Well, thank you for not putting me in his body. Or him in mine.
Yeah.
She pauses
That would
for
have
a
been pretty
moment.
freaky.
There's a little bit of a pause and she goes, yes. That's definitely, I can we should keep moving.
That's still great. It's
and you
great.
can
Christ,
just
I'm wearing
for,
grey.
for a split second, you think that maybe that would actually explain a lot. That the guy who couldn't beat up a load of bandits would belong in the frail body, and the accomplished wrestler would belong in the burly.
No way am I that guy.
No way am I
I'm
this
much
guy.
handsomer than him.
You guys, before the end of this movie, adventure, you're going to learn to settle your differences.
I don't know.
Like Hobbs and Shaw before you. Let's get.
More like Hobbs and Jaw. Am I right?
I don't want to give him anything, but that's a pretty solid joke.
Yeah.
Is it a wrestle that we're settling our?
No, there'll be lots of wrestling the deeper down we go.
Sound.
Once we find this guy, we need to take him out, and I think a
have
good
any
old fashioned
food?
wrestling. What?
I'm awful famished.
I just kind of figured that was on purpose.
Oh, it's a look, but it's hard to,
She pulls
food.
out a large like wheel of what looks like pizza without anything on it, so sort of just the
Cheese.
dough. No, just the
bread,
dough.
not bread. Yeah.
It looks like little brand lemon bread.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So she breaks you off a slice and hands it to you. And contrary to lembas bread, one bite is like a nibble. It's very unfilling. It's unsatisfying. And before you know, you've eaten the whole thing and don't feel like. I mean, it's a little bit. It's not super filling. Actually,
I can still see my six pack.
Speaking of which, are there any of those Snickers bars around? Describing shit food made me very hungry. Thank you.
Available for sponsorship, Snickers.
Yes.
Snickers, it'll do.
First Mr. T, then Homebrew. That's the chain as it usually goes.
Yep,
We always
exactly.
take Mr. T's sponsorship deals. That's you taking them.
So yeah. So Tip Tango explains that you guys have been traveling down the tunnels, not for super long. You've been attacked by a necromancer, and he apparently raised some fairly weak skeletons that attacked you. You dismembered the skeletons or talked them down, depending, and you were dislodged from your bodies. And he now resides further down the tombs, as Tip Tango had to stop and kind of pull you back into your physical forms.
Am I being dead? Did we get his name, the necromancer?
No, I don't think so. I think it was kind of like a hit and run sort of thing. You saw him, but like I think it was kind of you stumbled across. Well, what do you think? You stumbled across him. How do you think he reacted? Was he aggressive? What? How do you think it played out? Play out your memories.
Hail, fellow. Well met. My name is Lagunitas. I am from this big castle. What are you doing down here?
I mean, honestly, if this is how it went down, I don't fault him at all for wanting to kill us.
Okay, so I'd say he didn't even.
That's how necromancers are, aren't they? They're always hissing.
Yeah,
yes.
constantly.
He did it. It sounds like you thought he'd like sprung a leak, but then you realize it was him just hissing back into the shadows. And while he's sort of okay, I think then if you were having such a bravado focused entrance, you were immediately attacked by skeletons that burst forth from nearby crypts, and in the middle of the scuffle, this like small frail hand reaches out from the shadows and like tips you on the back of the shoulder, and that's when your soul disperses.
Right.
And
I
you,
thought I was tagging in. That was an old wrestling tag.
it's
you
either
know?
the frail hand of an old necromancer or the frail hand of an accomplished wrestler.
You were like frail grey hand. I'm like, this is me. I'm tagging. It's a classic
Grey
tagging
hand would
wrestling.
be a good wrestler name for you as well because you're so
Yeah.
grey.
I mean, I go by Vice. It's my real name.
That's
It'd
pretty
be
cool
weird to have
already.
a, to have a nickname that's shitter than your actual name.
Yeah.
But
Goblins
that
don't have
you were
great
kind
names.
of while you were distracted by the skeletons and your ancestors, you were dislodged thusly. And as Tip Tango starts explaining this, and you sort of it jogs your memory, you see like the dirt around you starts to like shift in like random patches, and she looks around. She's like, "That's not happened before."
Oh dear.
Yeah.
How did I get caught?
I can't believe that there's subsidence in the castle. This is shocking.
We should probably start moving and stop this guy. It's in my experience, someone who raises skeletons in a crypt, running down deeper, looking for the lost city of treasure that we're here to find. We should probably move. And I'm starting to see why your parents brought me along. You don't seem that fazed about it.
You have experience with people trying to raise skeletons to specifically lost cities of treasure?
I do now.
Okay. So in your very, very current experience.
Well, yeah, I haven't done this a lot. This might surprise you. And as she
It
explains,
does, I mean-
you kind of start to realize that the armor doesn't look like it fits her quite right. Like maybe it's a bit too big, and maybe this isn't hers.
I mean, you keep calling her her. Do I know she's a her?
Oh yeah, she's taken the faceplate up. Like you can see, it's a
Okay.
female furbolg. But Lagunitas, as she's like talking, you realize that the captain of the guard, big accomplished knight of the realm. Up until now, you had never seen his face, and up until now, you'd known him as the Metal Man. Kind of would make sense if maybe she's wearing. This isn't the actual captain of the guard, potentially, but maybe she is. Who knows? But probably
I'm
not.
going to keep that one under my hat.
Who guards the guards?
There's a pause.
Wait a minute.
We should keep moving. And you guys set off. And as literally, Lagunitas, are you leading the charge? I mean, I imagine
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
As you take your first step,
Strutting ahead.
the ground beneath you sort of erupts, and this skeletal hand bursts out with skin sort of flaking off it, and very expensive jewelry strewn the whole way down. And instantly, you recognize it as your late uncle.
Yeah, it's got to be one of his, you know.
Beaverton, how are you doing, you old dog?
The hand pauses.
I thought you were dead.
And then the hand reaches for you. And I thought I had this saved, but I don't. Apologies. I need you to make a throw that is mostly goddamn strength. I need you to make a strength saving throw. So you're gonna have a +6 to this. Oh, actually, you
really got method.
You
with
have a
your
+6.
character.
Oopsies.
I'd say you're accomplished at this as well, so you're gonna be proficient as well. So you're gonna have a +9 to this
+9.
because you get a +3 proficiency at level 5.
That'll help us one up.
Good.
What did you get?
That's a 5 +9, 14.
Very
Okay.
admirable 14.
A gentleman's 14.
So
The most gentlemanly of all numbers, as everyone knows.
it's
No, jokes.
It's not going to be enough.
no, yeah, you were we? Yes, you do succeed. The hand wraps around your leg, and you kind of like just kick it away, convinced that it's just Uncle Beaverton's old game of grab and tickle, the hugely inappropriate game you're so fond of. And hands start to burst out all around you. There's like 5 or 6 around you from all angles. You recognize like different bits of jewelry, different aunts, uncles, cousins.
God.
And Tip Tango grabs you both by the scruff of the neck, reaching upwards to you, Vice. Say, I think it's time we need to run past these guys. Let's get moving.
Okay, just let me say a quick hello to the.
No arguments from me.
You are hauled by the scruff of the neck by the alarmingly strong Tip Tango and start barreling down towards the tunnels. And we will continue what happens there in part 2 after we've made some proper character sheets. So now we've gotten through the worst of it. We have characters. We have sort of a setting. And we have a villain.
Brilliant.
And that's the worst part over. I thought that was my laptop looking for an update. I was like, no, Bodawing.
Very musical updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey
Laptop.
there, update me.
I suppose it's a Mac. They're very musical, aren't they?
Musical and soulless. I don't know. That's based on
Well,
absolutely nothing.
now we don't have them as a sponsor. Lost Apple.
Damn it.
Something tax haven. Cool. So we are going to take a quick break, do some peeps and some poops.
Yeah.
Probably just peeps because there's only one bathroom. But we've been drinking beer. We're going to build some card sheets for the lads. We will resume this and have lots of fun. So you're not going to want to miss it. Don't miss it. Please come back. Don't miss it. Commercial break. Welcome back. That's the
Hello.
welcome back dance.
Hello.
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 Welcome back to Homebrew Part 2. We are playing it faster and looser with the rules than normal. We've spent
I don't know what I'm doing.
No, neither do I. And that's the point. We've spent the last hour undoing the blood, sweat, and tears that our regular DM, Ben, has shed.
Poured.
He's poured into this jug, and we're just pouring it right the fuck back out. So sorry, Ben, but that's what you get for taking time off and living human life. What were you thinking?
Dweeb.
When last we left our newly generated heroes, Lagunitas, the proud and chiseled paladin of Pomplamicello, which is a fantastic word, and Vice, the glass hobgoblin wrestler. There's a lot to unpack with Vice.
There is.
The grey-skinned, round-eared wrestler.
A lot to unpack, and physically, not a lot.
Not a lot there. Not a peck on it.
Takes he's big, but yet, frail, small.
So we are deep in the tunnels, the resting place of the family of Lagunitas the Paladin, underneath his family castle, investigating a lost city of treasure and chasing down a necromancer. And over the break, we figured that mechanically we're going to have it so that Vice, the wrestler, his flurry of blows is basically be like a king from Tekken style series of grabs. And I think that can be open to interpretation. Like, you can maybe move people if you need to or whatever. And they maybe have to, if they don't succeed a couple of checks, maybe you can like keep breaking limbs. Because that's just, that's good. That's good fantasy.
Is there a grapple check here somewhere?
Is.
There should be.
It's
Fifth
just
edition has grapple, right?
Yes, you just use athletics.
Oh, okay.
Well, basically what happens is it's basically you can choose athletics or acrobatics. So if someone's trying to grab you, you can just like slip out of it, or you can just like kutush out of it.
Okay, grand.
But if they already have you, then it has to be athletics usually.
Ah, crap.
So yeah, it's fine. So we put together some very rough card sheets for the lads. Might need to update them as we go. But other than that, we will press forward with this fly by the seat of your pants adventure.
I can speak halfling. Hope that comes up.
I can barely speak.
Hello there.
Yeah.
The final boss. It's Hook. So yeah, last we left our heroes, which is a fantasy serial in this realm. You were running down a tunnel as skeletal hands burst through the walls, chasing after you. They would grab hold, but if they ever, it felt like they were weakened. Not as strong as the skeletons you fought before. Like almost like this was the necromancer's control could only summon a hand per se to the ground rather than an entire skeleton pulling itself up. It did not
like the Thing, but
sort of like the Thing, yeah, or like Thing from Adam's Family.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought
Thing.
you. I see. I thought we were going for like Russell, Kurt Russell.
No, an
style.
alien. I wasn't going alien that can become any form.
Because the last boss is Kurt Russell as the Thing.
Oh well, we're gonna lose.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's a nice mix.
So you think that Kurt Russell is the Thing?
I think
That's what you
it's
think.
open to interpretation. They
I
ran
mean,
out of
it
money
is.
shooting that movie, so there could have been a scene where Kurt Russell's face explodes.
Yeah, but they didn't do that.
And the movie's worse for it. So you're in a tunnel.
No, let's stay on the Thing.
I'm trying. Skeletal hands grasping at you, and eventually they sort of peter out. And Tip Tango kind of puts a hand on both of your shoulders. It's like, okay, so I think we should probably stop and try and catch our breath and think of some sort of game plan for when we find this guy. Because last time he kind of knocked 7 shades of shit out of you, you know?
Well,
That's not how I remember it. I don't remember it.
yeah. As far as I remember, I didn't have time to pull out my greatsword and cleft him in twain. So maybe I'll try that this time.
Is that
Tip Tango?
Is that a great sword? I don't remember.
It's pretty good. I'm honestly okay with that strategy. I'm loath to agree with you because frankly I find you insufferable. But if we can get you in there to cleft him in.
Cleft him in twain. He wouldn't be the first person who in twain I have cleft.
I'm pretty sure my taxes paid for your elocution. I didn't get elocution lessons.
It shows.
What was that word?
And you shouldn't have chosen to be a peasant.
I can't really argue with that logic, I'll be honest with you. You had something to say, Vice. No?
No.
Great. So,
No, I didn't.
okay. So I guess fly by the seat of your pants and just break this fool in half, right?
Well, Vice, maybe we met previously before our souls were taken from our body, but what is it exactly that you're bringing to the party here?
Well,
I don't quite know you. I've never seen you at a jousting contest. I've never seen you in the showers afterwards.
Yeah,
I don't know who you are.
in the peasantry, we do this thing called wrestling. It's a lot better than your regular old
It's pretty
joust.
raw. It's
No
pretty
armor, giant padded ring.
Oh.
Giant padded ring, a lot of grabs and ducks, and in my particular case, you gotta destroy your opponent, otherwise you'll die. I'm incredibly frail. That's my thing. In wrestling, you have to have a thing. My thing is absolute weakness.
Interesting.
In a weird way.
Okay, so.
I'm really rocking it.
Okay, sounds good. Tip Tango, Metal Man, I know you. I know you well. I've seen you on the field.
Yes, absolutely. All the time. I live on the field.
I trust you with my life. Do you remember that time you saved me when I was just a boy?
Remember it? We should go.
Hey, Tip Tango. Does he have to survive the mission? Was that stipulated?
It was not stipulated in the plan. I'd
Alright.
feel pretty guilty, but let's just see.
It's a dirty world.
We
Man.
get,
I'm gonna tell you, anybody could die at any moment.
we get paid
Especially
either
me.
way.
The echoes in here. You can hear even the whisper.
Whisper,
It is-
whisper.
Crap. You know what? I should check. Do I have any stealth and or sneakiness?
Your dex, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you should be pretty stealthy.
Yeah. Well, then suck it. But he can't hear that. I'm gonna roll to see if he can hear that.
Okay.
Oh no, he heard it. That was a 2.
It's all right. I know a good joke when I hear it.
The nearest whisper. Suck it. Guys, if we could keep it down just a little bit, I'm pretty sure we're encroaching on the necromancer's lair.
No problem.
Oblum.
Wouldn't want to be rude.
Rude. You're the sneakiest. Okay, we're almost there. And you press forward deeper into the tunnels, and you're walking for like nearly an hour. A couple of times you see some like hands springing out of the walls, even, but they're sort of limp, and there's not. It's almost like the hands are getting tired. Like there's less drive and enthusiasm behind them, and necromantic energy. Necromantic. Zombie juice.
There you go. That's the word.
Yeah, and eventually the tunnel starts to open up into a larger cavern, and there's rocks and outcroppings you can sort of hide behind, and you sneak up towards the edge. I'm going to roll a stealth check on my end just to see how stealthy you're being.
Okay.
So, what's your stealth? What's your dex modifier?
My dex is 0.
Okay.
My stealth is +6.
+6. Okay. And I'm going to roll again for you because you're wearing plate mail, which gives you disadvantage on stealth.
That it does.
Okay. Cool. So you actually got different scores.
Okay.
But I like the idea of you not knowing how stealthy you're being. You can hear a little kind of click clank from the armor.
I mean, stealth's a classic part of wrestling. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, and actually, Vice, you are the only one who's being like. You can tell you're being quiet. The other two are wearing plate mail.
Yeah. It helps not wearing any clothes except for a Mexican wrestling mask.
And just some pants.
Yeah, I was gonna say a leotard, but it's not even.
No,
Should have gone.
It's just some white fronts.
Drawn leotard.
So you approach the edge of this tunnel, and you see this opening, sort of like a dome area, like a cavern. And in the center of the room is this robed figure wearing this sort of. It looks like it might have been a white coat once, but it's been muddied and it's covered in grime and dirt, and it's torn. And he's got sort of scraggled grey hair. And a scraggled beard and bushy eyebrows and strangely kind features, sort of wrinkled but soft, like maybe a grandfather who would tell you stories. But his pupils are these cold, dark eyes of a natural predator.
It's like Evil Santa.
He looks almost like Evil Santa.
Okay, Evil Santa. Alright.
And he's performing some. He's drawing sigils and runes on
The Santa, but he's only in charge of
He's just
the naughty list.
He's currently
loves that
updating the naughty list,
Yeah.
and you don't see a nice list because this bad Santa motherfucker. This is Billy Bob Thornton off drugs,
Off Broadway.
off Broadway. And he's standing in front of this large, sort of engraved disc on a flat wall. I mean, copyright, but Stargate.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
For like, but with sort of strange symbols you don't recognize, and it's like carved directly into the wall. And he seems to be like puzzling out with his book, trying to decipher what the symbols mean. And beside him, you see this tall, like nearly 7 foot tall, armored, decaying ghoul, wearing your family's plate armor. You don't recognize the features of the individual beside him. You just recognize that it's wearing. What was your last name? Inderweed. Did we go with that?
Inderweed.
It's
yes.
the Inderweed. It's the Inderweed armor. Peasants can't even peasants explode if they try and wear this thing. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain amount in your coffers to even like approach this thing. Whether or not that's literally true is up for debate. But as far as your family is concerned, people literally melt if they don't have a certain amount of money in their account.
I mean, the armor can just tell, you know?
Good breeding.
Good breeding.
Yeah.
And you see there are sort of coffins strewn about the place. The place is in bits, but the necromancer seems to be, rather than performing a ritual, he's trying to figure out a ritual. What do you guys want to do?
What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, you're the more black-hearted, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
I know what I do, but I don't know to do it.
You're like, I want to roleplay, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think my character would do would be announce myself, because I can't start a wrestling match without an announcement.
Yeah, I do the
you know?
same.
Yeah. Good. Okay, grand. So.
Ooh.
No?
That's tingly.
Okay. What's it called?
It is Missouri with whiplash and first via check.
Okay, that's great.
There's a lot going on.
So, can I? My character is a bit of a blackheart. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
You know. So, and in the red corner, I'll just start
Okay,
yelling.
yeah.
What was your name again? Lagunitas.
So as you're doing this announcement, Tip Tango starts like casting sort of spells to make like lights flash off, like, and the lights kind of like darken, and the spotlight lands on you.
Nice. Okay, in the red corner, Lagunitas,
Hello.
the paladin,
Ding ding ding.
who is as big in the mouth as he ought to be in the ring.
You hear
Get ready for it.
And as his backup, and in this tag match, we have Vice, the frail, friendly, the BFG, but F stands for frail, and not friend, just a big, frail giant.
The crowd goes absolutely wild.
Yeah.
And the spotlights are like swirling around, and the two of you are just lit, standing like shoulder to shoulder, like flexing. And you can see that, like, it's hard to pick him out because he's
definitely.
different poses. Make a performance check actually each. So just add your charisma modifier.
charisma.
I think you're both pretty good at this.
Damn, 8.
What's my Christ? What's my charisma? Ooh.
I'd say
0.
I'd
No,
say
I
you can
have
add
0
3.
plus 2. Oh,
you
yeah.
can add your proficiency of +3 because you're a wrestler and this is kind of your shtick.
Okay, so you're saying +3. Yeah, because I have no performance. Anyway, 18.
Okay.
I nail my side.
What was yours again, Logan?
Mine was 8. So I would say I'm a bit distracted by the plate armor that I see. And like while trying to flex, I'm like, hey, I know you.
It's also kind of hard to get your maximum flex on in the plate armor you're not used to wearing.
Yeah. Sorry, I can take it off. I can.
You can.
How do you get this thing
Tip
off?
Tango puts a hand on your shoulder. Please don't take off your armor. We super need that.
Okay, fine.
And she like recedes back into the shadows. Like, I'm just gonna kind of run point here. He doesn't seem to have seen me with all the spectacle, but you guys got this.
Yeah. So.
You.
I was gonna classify. It's a no holds barred tag match.
That's right. It's a tag match, whatever that means, and you are going down. Get out of my family's castle.
The necromancer looks over at you, and you see the lights kind of over to him, as if like waiting for a reaction. And you can see his like kindly expression still sitting on his face, and the lumbering ghoul beside him is kind of like turns around and he goes, "I'm so glad you could all excuse me. I am so glad you could all join me in this tomb. A tag match, you say? That means 1-on-1 per scuffle. Is that what we wish to do?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because it's just
Yes.
I'm in the middle of some research, and y'all have interrupted me before, so I might let my business associate here take things. And now that you're like seeing the ghoul turn around towards you, Lagunitas, you do actually recognize him. What is this relative's name?
Oh my
Mom?
god.
Sorry.
Oh my god. It's my Auntie Siren.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So it's an anti-siren.
It's
That's
an
good.
anti-siren.
Yeah, it really hates noise.
It's the reverse of a whoop whoop.
It's what is it? The noise cancelling.
Oh yeah,
It's noise cancelling.
It's an
siren.
absence of sound.
Yeah.
That beer is revolting, by the way. I'm so sorry, but I can't.
The Missouri.
No.
Now it might be because of the heat, but
Maybe.
I was
Could have
actually.
been, not good
I
to
had
cook
intended.
your beers.
I had intended to announce that the wrestling match was something to do with the Missouri beer, but I forgot.
ooh, Porterhouse Yippee, that'll be a good one. Cool. So the necromancer just kind of pats Anti-Siren on the shoulder and says, "I'm going to leave you in the very capable." Excuse me again. That one was actually real. The first one was not. I'm going to leave you all in the very capable hands of your dearly departed. While I return to my notes, and it's 1v1 now. Y'all remember that. You stipulated the rules.
Anti-Siren, first of all, I thought you were dead, and B of all, I can't believe that you would go into business with this person. What has come over you? Anti-Siren, answer me.
Anti-Siren draws a long sword from her back and draws a short sword from her waist and just starts lumbering towards you.
Now is hardly the time for presents, Anti-Siren. I honestly, I just want you to answer my questions.
And Anti-Siren lowers the swords. They kind of like the tips drag along the ground as she's walking towards you. Kind of. All right, my dear. You may dismember them at your earliest convenience. And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Initiative. It's such a shame that I'm not Rian and I don't get a +1
Yeah,
million
you have to
to
live
initiative.
like the rest of us do.
Oh no!
I
My
get the
worst
17.
roll. How?
Of course, my one good roll this whole thing is on initiative.
Okay, where's initiative on this thing?
I feel like Lagunitas will be a brash thinker, so you would act first.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, my initiative is 6. I was going to have a problem with the fact that they were going to use weapons in a wrestling match, but then I remembered I said no holds barred, and I don't know if swords are a hold, but
Nonetheless, they are barred.
yeah, well, they're not barred. That's the
Sorry,
problem.
none are
There's
barred.
No holds
exactly. So
Sorry, so you got
6,
and
A 17.
17. Wonderful.
but he's in first then, I guess, and then I'm in the tag.
But you can still act from the ring.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
throw
yeah.
shit.
Oh, you gotta believe I'm gonna hit that necromancer
See,
with a chair.
This is why I don't do a lot of prep, because I did not predict this being a wrestling match. But
How
I'm
did you not see that
so
coming?
happy it is.
Wrestling match.
Sorry, excuse me.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
What should I
Oh,
do next?
see, this is also Angus was like, "Oh, what music do you want for this?" If I'd said, lucha wrestling. I think lucha wrestling. Yeah,
Bit of We Will Rock You.
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. I went for a bit of that, and I hope we didn't get any. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So top of the round is unfortunately the Risen Ghoul. Anti-Siren gets to go first.
So free action. Anti-Siren, what's come over you? I mean, you were always an unsociable wench, but this is really beyond you.
As soon as you say unsocial one, she goes like, nah, and like charges towards you, disregarding Vice. And she is going
That
to... yeah, makes sense. Oh, have I done the wrong thing here?
Ooh. Let me tell you, your family are as ugly as
You
sin.
got some problems? Okay, so Anti-Siren is going to swing with her longsword first. And does a modifier 23. Does that hit?
23 hits.
23 hits. Cool, so she gets to make another attack with that again. So that's going to be a 9 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, so one attack with the long sword, and then we're going to do one with the short sword as well. So that is going to be a 14 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So only one of them hits. So it's a D10. So you take 6 slashing damage from the first long sword, and like as you're reasoning, kind of like you're like avoiding her blows.
Auntie, Siren, please contain yourself.
Okay, that is Auntie Siren's go. She's like face to face with you, disregarding Vice, and it's your turn, Lugitus.
Your side of the family were always unsociable. I guess I'll give it 1-4. So that's a 25.
Okay,
Nice.
that hits.
I've got a second attack. Do I do that before or after damage?
It's up to yourself.
I'll do it before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not as good. That's a 15.
Does not hit, unfortunately.
Not. Okay, so just one swipe of my greatsword misses, and the other with my greatsword gets... Oh, nice. 10 plus 6. That 16 damage.
Ooh, nice. Nice. That's a lot of damage. Cool. So you into Auntie Siren's armor, and like being so intimately acquainted with the armor, it just kind of like cuts through just at the shoulder joint, and she like hisses at you through matted blonde hair. As you can see, like teeth like falling out of her mouth, and you kind of like this definitely is Auntie Siren. Like it just she looks terrible. She hasn't seen her skin therapist in some time. She always needed to fix her teeth, but there's less of them now. And she pulls the sword out of her shoulder and just kind of stumbles back and looking at you. Is that the end of your turn?
Bonus action. I don't believe I have. Can I tag out as a bonus action?
Yes, you can.
Then I would like to tag out.
Okay.
Clever use of the tag.
Very good. So you like stick like are you being very exaggerated, or are you sneakily doing this?
So I would say that I'm swinging the sword. It almost clefts, and then
Are you trying to tag me with the sword?
no. So that's, and then with the other hand, I just like slap on the chest my colleague Vice.
Okay.
Ow.
Your
Yeah,
turn.
He hits me then. Yeah,
Yes, and then it is your turn, Vice.
Do I do damage? No.
Alright, well
I'll
then.
just make a note of it. You've softened him up.
Well then, all right. So I flip into the ring. Is there an actual ring? It's just in
I
my
would
head,
say there's
right?
like
I
been
just
an,
announced a ring.
I'd say
Not
there was
the
like
game.
a rock you were hiding behind that you can just kind of like.
Cool. I can come out. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a flip out because I mean it's still a wrestling thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to mime.
I'd say you're not gonna have to roll for this flip. This just happens.
Okay, cool. Yeah, flip out. I was gonna say mime getting over the ropes somehow. you
Yeah.
know?
The lights are still going nuts. Like.
Yeah, you warm up a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Right. Well, I didn't see him tagging me. To be honest, I thought I was gonna skirt around the side and hit the guy.
I
with the
thought he
chair.
meant you as a character didn't see it happening, so he like tags you. You're just like standing.
I didn't. Neither of us. Our whole plan. Both of us didn't think he was gonna tag me.
I'm a man of honor.
Mm-hmm. Sure he is. So, I'm close to the guy.
Yeah. You're like now both in melee because you were kind of like you were both at the edge and the skeleton came to you.
All right. So flurry of blows.
Okay.
I wish I had ever watched any wrestling or wrestling. Good wrestling. It's all canon for me. So
It's
my
fantasy
flurry of
wrestling.
blows. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a bit performative, you know. So I'm gonna like quite weakly slap him across the face. He's
Okay.
gonna turn his head if I succeed. Right.
Okay.
The second shot will be slap him across the face the other time.
Okay.
But then I get a third shot, so I'm guessing with flurry of blows. Flurry has to be at least 3, right? Or more. I'm gonna do the whole running up and down. I think I'm just doing what The Rock does. I can't.
Yeah,
remember. Is that
the
what he
people's
does?
elbow.
Is that
Yeah.
what he does? Yeah, except for that when I run at him, I'm just gonna punch him in the
Yeah,
face.
Okay.
It's a bit more street.
Roll for your first face slap.
Okay, cool. Ooh, that's botched. It was between
Yeah.
6 and 16. Okay. What am I adding? Because adding is important.
So when you're doing
Flurry of blows. Sorry. 5th edition monks, you say. I use a key for 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action. Oh, okay.
I
Starting
think you
with
just
bonus
add your dex and proficiency, don't you? Because you're proficient with your
Yeah.
fist weapons. Oh, there we go. +6. +6 to hit.
Then at 11. It is a slap, mind you. Didn't work.
So I'm just trying to think. It's +6 to hit, and then 1d6 +3 for each hit.
Yeah, I didn't do the hit.
So the first one does not hit.
Okay.
I don't know if you can. You know what?
Now, if the first one doesn't hit, then do I get the rest?
Ooh, I'm
gonna
not sure.
say yes.
Okay, cool.
It's probably not,
I'm
but
gonna use
in
my
this,
performance
it kind of
to-
works like
do you know what?
use
extra
my
attacks.
performance to play it out.
For regular monk behavior, no, definitely not. For wrestling,
Yeah.
Yes.
The
you don't
subclass
stop.
wrestling.
You don't
gotta-
stop
yeah,
till
yeah.
they've been wrestled.
Yeah, that's part of the rules. Sure. All right, let's go for the second weak slap. I mean, it doesn't matter because I was gonna hit my hand anyway.
Yeah.
That's how it works. All right. So of course
Yep.
it missed.
Your first one misses because you're like used to stomping on the ring, but it's like
Yeah,
rocks
yeah.
and it's weird.
Okay, that's better. We're talking 17.
17 does indeed hit.
Great. Slap across the face.
Okay, it's a 1d6 plus 3.
All right. 6
6, perfect.
overall.
Cool. So you get your additional attack. And
Okay.
I just realized because I was looking at my notes, don't forget you've got that pistol. I never added to your sheet.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I just saw
so
that now.
the performance hit. All right, so you run up and down the old field.
Mhm.
I'm very fast. So
Yeah,
it's just
there's
all
no
very-
ropes,
It's
so
like
you're
got-
just running
No rope, so
side
I'm
to
pretending,
side.
I'm pretending there's a rope, and I'm pretending there's another rope, and then after that, I'm running straight at him, trying to just punch him straight in the square in the face. Her.
Her
So your
it
aunt,
is,
sorry.
yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know she's unsightly, but that is still my auntie.
It's hard to tell, but yes.
Okay, so we'll go for a hit with the old straight punch to the face. Yes, it's 20.
20. That does indeed. It was a natural 20.
No, it's 20 overall. Sorry.
We've had no crits.
No, we haven't.
Okay, cool. That does it. So 1d6,
D6.
1d6 plus 3.
Surprising, my main hit. Oh, it was a 6.
Clothesline this bitch.
It was a 6. So
9.
9.
9. Okay. Fucking wailing on this thing.
I'm in my wrestling mode. I'm quite happy. I'm showboating. I'm not tagging him back.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's just a straight hook to or across the face.
Just box him
Yep.
right in the face.
So she kind of
Box her right in the face.
there's a crunch and you feel like the nose and brow kind of collapse in a little bit, and she kind of looks like she's frowning at you, and you realize you've actually just caved in her skull a little bit, and the hair is sort of matted and in between the
Gross.
eye sockets. And as you pull your hand back, there's actually like maggots and shit on your hand. You have to shake off. Like she is revolting. Now your hand smells a little bit as well, and you hear this kind of as she tries to right herself back up.
I haven't seen this since my fights with the Undertaker.
You hear this this distant thaumaturge
Yeah.
as Tip Tango goes like.
I actually just fought. Canon-wise, there's obviously no Undertaker
it's
wrestler.
an
just,
Undertaker.
I just fought an Undertaker.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
wrestled him. Yeah.
That was gonna be
His
the
whole stick.
necromancer's name.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't. Okay. It is the necromancer's turn. He's like, you see that one of the sigils on the gate of stars is just going on the wall, and the stone in between the ring has started to swirl in like a little bit. It looks like a weird sort of when you get the spins after a night out and you look up at the roof and it's kind of moving even though it's not moving. It's that kind of.
I meant to ask, by any chance, is the symbols around the Stargate in Halfling?
They are not in. They are not in.
It would
Halfling.
be amazing
It's just,
if they were.
Maybe Halflings are the
hang
ancient
on.
Stargate evil race.
Okay.
'Cause I can read Halfling. It's just what I'm saying.
So
That's
I
what I'm
rolled for you and you got a natural 20. So I feel like I've taken away something great, unfortunately. So it's not halfling, but it's definitely adjacent to it.
I recognize some of the words.
It's near as you can figure, and because it's not your first language, it's like some weird dialect of halfling.
Evil
necromancers.
halflings.
Like when you see real ye old English and that's not how we talk, but I recognize these words, but they're not normally in that order. So you recognize words like gate and stone that are pretty fucking obvious, but maybe in this order they mean something different. Okay. So you don't know the language, but you get that it is a language.
It's definitely Halfling. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's all I. Yeah.
It's like if you speak Spanish and you hear someone speaking Italian, you're like, I get the sort of. I say this speaking neither of those languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Latin-based.
all you can discern from
I
here.
can tell it's Halfling based.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good. God, I wish I should let you off that. It's my mistake.
Well, you got a 20. I wouldn't have done that one.
Okay.
So it's.
So it's still the necromancer's turn.
Oh shit.
And he's going to turn around, and you see he sees that you seem to be honoring the tag match, and he looks around and he goes like, well, I certainly can't tag in. Boys, help out your sister. And you see these two coffins kind of like burst out, and these smaller unarmored skeletons just kind of pull themselves out, and they're like enshrouded in dust, not carrying weapons, kind of like lumbering towards you. They just kind of like, they seem to be sort of still steady themselves. They haven't actually advanced this turn, but they are now on the playing field.
Okay.
And it is now Tip Tango's turn.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Tip Tango gets a go.
Tip Tango. Where is her fucking thing? There we go. Okay. Vice, what is your AC actually?
15, I think. If I'm reading this right.
Yes.
Yep.
And what is your Dex modifier?
3 plus 3.
3. Okay. So Tip Tango reaches out, claps you on the shoulder, and you feel like this sizzle as your like skin crackles as she casts Mage Armor, which will last for the next 8 hours, and your AC becomes 13 plus your Dex modifier. So now it's 16. So it goes up by 1.
1. Great. I feel so much strong.
So much strong.
Call me frail now.
Yeah, so she casts Major Armor on you. And she sort of like skirts around the edge of the ring in quotations. And you see she pulls out this her spear and like clocks it ready and just like starts aiming at the skeleton. She's like, if they try anything funny, I swear to God, I'll hop over this ring. These imaginary rules we've put upon ourselves. As soon as we decide to stop playing, I'll help. This is taking longer than a turn. And she's ready to jump in if you guys want to break this, but I think she seems pretty happy to entertain it so far. And Anti-Siren is just going to immediately swing again and do the same set of attacks on her. There seems to be like a slight bit of recognition in her face of you.
Yeah.
And as she got like locking eyes with you, Lagunitas, she goes to swing at you, and you hear this voice across the camera go, the rules. And she like stops, and then she swings at you instead, Vice. So she's going to swing her first longsword attack. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Well, you just gave me 16, so I think you know it doesn't hit.
I do. Well, let's do damage first. Okay, so the
I've
first
added
one is
all
going
of
to
my
be.
acrobatics.
So that's going to be 5 slashing damage.
Christ.
Second one is going to be a 23 to hit. So that's going to hit as well.
Yep.
And that is a 7. And her last short sword attack is also going to hit. I think it's 24.
Not damage.
No, 24 to hit.
Okay,
Sorry. And the damage is 6.
So
you're just gonna
5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
You're talking 18 damage.
Yeah.
That's right there.
I managed to hit with all 3 attacks.
Puts me on an even 20 health.
Okay. Just kind of like groans at you. You can see she's kind of like her bottom jaw is jutting out because it's the only part that wasn't like pushed back by your last punch.
Oh Christ! I have a special ability that means I can attack twice. You should read the whole thing.
This is, I mean, we'll make it up for you.
No, you know.
No, because I mean you're learning.
It's entirely on me. I don't mind.
Okay, work. That is the Sirens, Anti-Siren's turn. Lagunitas, what is your turn?
Vice, I'd love to help you, but unfortunately, I'm not tagged. So I would like to cast Compell's Duel.
Oh, nice.
On Anti-Siren.
Okay.
Nice.
So she has to make a save on this.
So she has
if she
to
breaks the rules, they lose, and we just win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, she has to.
That's how it
she has
works.
to make a wisdom save against
Yeah.
my spell save DC, which is 13.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say that I think that your anti-siren is that wise.
Ooh. Wisdom save. 10. She fails.
She fails.
Oh.
Yeah. So she cannot attack any target
Yes,
except
and
me.
As long as no one else attacks
As
her.
long as no one else attacks her and I don't attack anyone else.
I mean, this perfectly works with the preposterous world of wrestling. You know, there's always a thing.
She's just
Nah,
focused on the...
She really wants to fight the person that she
So
can't attack.
I cast the spell, but in the way I do it is like, oh, Anti-Siren, our family never really liked you.
She lets out this groan and just kind of...
Good.
You can just like,
Good.
like for once you can hear like sort of discern a word through the groan. You just hear ungrateful. Okay, is that your turn?
That's well, I'm not tagged. I can't do anything
Okay.
else.
Vice, it's your turn.
Okay, Christ. Right. if I read my sheet more. Nope, that's not useful. Sorry.
And bearing in mind, if you attack her, my spell is.
Well, I mean, he could attack her, but also he could kill her.
Yeah, you could kill her. Yeah.
Okay, what? It doesn't go into detail. Stunning strike.
Yes. Means they lose. If it works, they don't get a turn next round.
Sweet. All right. So.
I think you have to make a strength saving throw or something.
I've got
or
a
Constitution.
Key. It says Constitution save.
Yeah.
Or stunned. I don't know if it's them having to make.
They will have to make the save. Yeah.
All right, Grant. I'll try. I'm gonna wind up classic style. Do a big old wind up.
Rope-a-dope.
Yeah. And then boom, stunning strike. You know. I'm gonna hold my arm a bit while I do this. Shoulder. Then go like that. Bam.
She's like, Auntie Siren's looking over at Lagunitas, and she's still like, kind of like looking over at you and just kind of following the spin. Okay, so roll to hit.
11 overall.
11 does not hit, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so if I'm reading this correct, extra attack. When making an attack action, you make 2 attack actions rather than 1.
I think you can do the stunning strike and stuff at the end of your flurry of blows. Isn't that the thing?
It's key. I have 5 key. So that only uses 1 key, and I used 1 key for flurry of blows.
Right, it's either or. Yeah, okay. So you're doing your second attack as a flurry of blows?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Roll to hit this bitch.
Okay, so this flurry of blows. What's another cool wrestling way of going about it? So I mean, like, yeah, just a classic,
Or KO her.
just a classic 1, 2, 3. So you punch from the right, punch from the left, uppercut.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first hit.
All right. Ooh, okay, definitely a hit. 16 plus, what was it, 6?
Yep, that works. Yep, definitely a hit.
Cool. 1d6 plus 3?
Yep.
9.
9.
Nice. All right, so that's the right hook.
That's the right hook. You fucking nailed her.
I hadn't said it before, but I've decided now that I'm left-hander.
Southpaw.
Southpaw, just to be extra frail. So she's not used to it. You know, she's anti-siren never
so
fought.
you started out
never
orthodox.
fought the old left hand.
Started out orthodox and just kind of like, haha.
Yeah, it's a trick. Yeah. Actually, it's Bride, Princess Bride. I actually fight with my
Nice, very good. You poisoned both cups.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. All right, that's 12 plus 18. Not 12 plus 18.
Second hit hits.
Cool.
1d6 plus 3.
Oh, 4.
4. Okay, still good.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
How you doing? Welcome back.
Good. My bone marrow hasn't been eaten away yet, so.
Yay!
Good. Yeah.
Same.
That's what I was.
Unfortunately for
Hoping
you
I'm
guys,
paying
your
for.
bone marrow has been eaten away.
Oh, damn
no,
it.
Claire. Your dinner is plated and in the fridge.
Plated. Nice.
Yeah.
And then I'll be handling a chemical that can eat my bone marrow if I get it on me, so you know.
Why in electric engineering or electronic engineering would you handle a chemical that could eat your bone marrow?
I'm going to be etching semiconductors, so you need to etch in semiconductors.
Well, it's very exciting, and so D&D.
Anyway, so your third attack.
I was more concerned that when she first came in, it was Gavin's aunt again.
Third attack.
Okay, third attack. All right, this is the uppercut. This is the real, the
Send her
proper
home.
one.
Send her back to mama.
You're gonna go like left, a bit
God looks so tense.
of duck left, a bit of duck left, and then bam.
You're
right
like
up
the
the
foot like
Max of a 1.
no, why do I keep rolling 5s? It's like 3 5s I tried to roll. I miss. It's 11.
However, I'm gonna let you re-roll that because you didn't get your extra attack earlier on.
Okay, fine. If it's your game.
Very generous.
I
to
think-
you.
I think that's
yes. 20 overall.
Because I think missing an entire extra attack is something that a wrestler would not miss out on. So sorry, what was the roll?
20 overall, 14 I rolled.
20.
And then plus
Perfect.
6.
Okay, roll the damage on your last hit.
All right, uppercut.
So you bap bap. Your head's kind of like rocking left and right.
4 damage again.
So
Which
you
means I rolled a
feel
1.
as you uppercut, you kind of like lose your footing on the rocks below,
Yeah, I mean it's
and it just kind of catches with just your. You actually just kind of like. You feel like you're gonna miss, so you stop putting power into your fist, and it just kind of like slows and stops just underneath Auntie Siren's chin, and her head just explodes back.
there goes the tagging.
It was almost like you had softened it up to the point that it was just so delicate that the slightest whisper would have exploded this thing. She had no health left, and she's just like this,
That's
like
my MO.
this neck just kind of like flopping, and then collapses onto the ground, and then the lights start like strobing and flashing, and it's like ding 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 ding. And the crowd starts going wild, and you can see Siren just kind of like throwing spells up into the sky. Like she actually looks like there's a bit of sweat
I mean,
forming on her
according to the
brow.
rules, they didn't tag. The Auntie never tagged, so
And you just
I didn't pin her. No, he killed her.
nah,
Yeah,
it's close enough. It's her body falls and
Yeah,
is
yeah,
then
yeah,
pinned.
Classic wrestling.
So Tip Tango shouts like, "Now kill that fucker!" and you can see like a second sigil on the gate is open, kind of and it starts like
Saying stuff in
spinning more
Dwarven.
obviously. What?
Saying something vague in Middle English Dwarven.
You can sort of hear from here now that the other smaller skeletons are lumbering towards you, but you can hear the necromancer he's mumbling something about time running out.
Okay.
And I would say, both of you, are you going to run past the skeletons or attack them just to get this? Just to transition this, would you attack the skeletons or would you run over?
I'd attack the skeletons.
Okay.
Oh, Christ,
Good.
I was going to say I'd clean up the skeletons for you.
Okay, that's good. You both attack the skeletons. So
Yes.
you both make a regular attack roll. Add strength, add dexterity.
Oh, that is
21.
it's a 13. Although I do get a second attack.
Yes, you do. And so do you.
Fuck. That's 15.
Okay.
Oh, second attack misses.
What did you get?
4.
Okay, that does miss. So your attacks actually both hit.
I mean, I
What?
got 7.
Amazing.
These
I
are
got a 7.
unarmored, shambling skeletons. Your second attack, unfortunately, does miss.
Yeah. The
So
7 is not great.
You go for instinctively go for the kidneys and realize that this thing doesn't have a kidney. It's just
kidneys.
a skeleton.
So both attacks
Even
hit.
number of ribs or uneven number? No,
So there are 3 skeletons and
3 attacks.
yeah. So you've managed to
So-
each one of them gets a hit.
So that's
So roll the damage on your 2 attacks. So it's 2d6 plus whatever.
plus
Well,
6.
yeah. Roll the first attack. First attack.
12 is the first attack.
Yeah.
And that's good. And 12 is the second attack.
Okay, perfect. What was your damage?
5.
5. You while running towards the necromancer, you kind of like windmill your sword above your head and kind of lop off both the skeletons' heads, and they collapse immediately. Like all the bones separate. Vice, you punch through the remaining skeleton, and your second punch hits nothing because you were expected to hit the skeleton again, but you like catch a bone in the air, but but the thing is already dead. Excuse me. And Tip Tango like cheers from behind you. He's like, "Fucking go, boys!" And like charges in behind you with her spear ready to go. In between the two of you, and you've got this kind of like flying V formation as you charge towards the necromancer, who is starting to speed up a little bit, flicking through pages. There's not much time. Okay, so you are now within melee range of this motherfucker. What do you want to do?
I want to attack.
Okay,
Same first, right?
cool. So we'll keep the same initiative order, I think, because it's just easier.
Yeah.
No reason for us to change it.
Yeah. So.
This music keeps escalating.
Yeah, it does. It's great. We've
Okay,
got an amazing
so
sound designer.
it is the necromancer's turn.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Where is he? Where is he? Okay. So, yes, necromancer is going to. Okay, he drops the book, plunges both hands into the ground, and a skeletal hand bursts out in front of you, Lagunitas. And this thing is like a burly, chunky, sort of ghoulish hand, not like skeletal.
Yeah.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
So does it look a bit like he put his hands in the ground and then he gets really long hands
It's-
and then they become skeletons over a
18.
distance?
It could be. That
Okay.
could well be what this is. He's
That's
got
what
two
that's what I
hands
think is
plunged
happening.
into the
He
ground.
plunges
Yeah.
his hand in the ground
Yeah.
and then a giant skeleton.
Fair to assume.
Yeah,
18?
Really long arms.
18.
18. It like it grabs around your leg, but in the same kind of thing, you just gonna like kick it away. Like so many peasants who've groveled at your cloak as you walk through the slums of your city.
I've got things to do.
And you see the necromancer looks up and is like, I hadn't planned on that. But he's not going to run away from his from the gate, as it's like a third sigil is kind of and starts to spin a little bit faster. It is now your turn, Lagunitas. You are like a step away from this guy. You like having kicked away the skeletal hand. You are within melee range of the necromancer.
I would like to cast Branding Smite.
Okay.
So that's a regular attack, I believe.
Yes, but it hurts more.
It hurts a whole lot more. So regular attack. Oh yes, please. That's 23.
Oh yeah,
So
that hits. Oh, an extra 2d6. Oh wait. Oh, you have to cast at a higher level. So yeah, 2d6 on top of a regular damage. So
yeah,
so you have 4d6, and you get an.
46.
and I get a +6 as well. So
It's a lot of damage.
oh yeah, that's 16 + 6, so that's 22 damage.
Jesus Christ.
And what is it? Let's say these two. 7 of that is radiant, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, cool. That's good to know. So sorry, what was the total? 22.
22.
22.
22.
That's so good. Yeah. So you just rip through this
By
guy.
the power of Grayskull.
I'm gonna say you lop this guy's fucking arm off, actually, because that's a huge amount of damage for this very squishy man. So the hand that was holding the book just kind of like comes completely off, and in his shredded, what now seems to be a very dirty lab coat, kind of like billows away. He's like, he sort of looks like dumbfounded that you've done this. There's a strange lack of blood. It's sort of like it's dark black ichor more than blood. Like maybe his innards have been replaced with something. And he looks up at you and he's like, yeah, but you're supposed to be the dumb one.
I am the dumb one.
Okay.
The crowds go wild.
Like Tip Tango like flicks her finger and you hear this like chant of a crowd again. Excuse me, Vice, it's your turn.
Okay. Right. I mean, I got not many things to do. I'll try the old flurry of blows again. You know, I still got some key left.
Why not?
All right. What's
Got key to burn.
Yeah. Okay. Grand.
It's the key to victory.
This will be my keystone attack.
All right, we can.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just leave.
Yeah.
All right. So, one other type of wrestling thing. You'd think in any of the years that I watched any wrestling, which is very few.
I can't fact check. I never got into that.
Yeah. I'm going to grab him.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, it's wrestling. I should at some point in time.
Yeah.
Grab
Go
him.
for it. Go for it.
So I'm gonna try to grapple him. It's a flurry of blows. I'm gonna start with a grapple check, and then I'm gonna try to suplex
tell you
him.
what, let's do a grapple to make sure your first one does hold him, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have that be a separate attack. Like you just
Okay,
your attack involves grabbing him.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's roll. Let's
So
just
it's
roll
a
to
normal
hit.
attack, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be. He's gonna have to grapple to break free.
Well, I'm glad that landed on 16 instead of 3. Then 22.
Yeah. So roll damage because you're still gonna the force is still gonna hurt
Yeah,
this
I'm
guy.
squeezing him with my big spindly
Yes.
arms. I'm getting
Wrapped around
getting
him.
all the bones in my rib cage around him and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. That damage.
And it's also easier because he's minus an
Somehow
arm.
skeletal I am. You know. 7 damage.
Okay. 7 damage.
That's the first move.
Okay. So is that's just you like squeezing him?
That's just me squeezing him from mine.
Yeah.
So a bear hug, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grab. I go and I grab him the front way, so that's knocking him out of the air.
Yeah.
Then the second move will be the bear hug. So I'll
Okay.
swing around the back. Across
Oh,
the
yeah, you're like
way.
shouldering him and then you're I get you.
Yeah. 16.
That hits. So you
Great.
you can feel like a
Cool.
couple of ribs
Swing
kind
around the back,
of.
the old bear hug.
It sort of feels like you're zipping up a coat, sort of as you.
And I've never owned a coat.
No.
Much less a leotard.
So the first time you put on a coat, it's like this is like breaking someone's ribs.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember necromancy that one time.
You have weird stories, Uncle Vice.
Yeah.
Mom says we can't hang out with you.
It's a crazy world, wrestling, let me tell you. 5 damage.
5 damage.
All right.
Okay.
Now, the big one.
What is your final move to kill the necromancer?
Well, we're going with suplex. Yeah, I mean, you know what was I got him, right? What's the other one that they do that always looks really crap? So I'd like that to make that excellent. The one where they grab them up in the air and then they
power
clearly
bomb?
land on their leg again.
Oh yeah.
But it really hurts their leg for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Slam. I'll grab him up and I'll try to slam him down on breaking him across my knee, I guess.
Okay. So you shoulder into the necromancer. You can hear this kind of as like black ichor shoots out his mouth. You whirl around, crack several ribs, lift him up in the air, and then Lagunitas and Tip Tango watch in awe as you like slam him down your knee, and his spine shoots up into the air
Wow, I didn't
like
know
it's
the
been
roll.
volleyed,
Right.
and he just kind of like falls completely limp in your lap, and there's just the crowd goes completely silent. Then you hear as his spine lands in the center of the room, and Tip Tango looks at you like lowers her spear and goes, "Yeah, holy
Oh, well done. Yes.
good Christ!"
Vice.
Vice.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding about this peasant sport. Holy shit.
If you don't kill them, they might kill your frail body, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, I see that thing you were talking about before. That sort of makes sense.
Yeah, wow.
You gotta go in with weakness. It's kill or be killed in wrestling.
Okay, then.
Right.
That's very unsettling.
It's a very
Truly-
honourable sport.
Truly harrowing. I'm feeling less like a hero now, if I'm honest with you.
Well, he was a filthy
No,
necromancer.
I completely. We were in the right, but good.
We're
God.
always in the right. What are you talking
We put on
about?
such a show for the audience.
And they seem to enjoy it. And you can look over, and there's like a load of like discarded skulls all around there, and it's like looking at you.
This one
Skull
was for
lands
you,
dropping.
Grandpappy Puka.
Yeah.
This one was for you.
Puppy Puka.
Take a
Um,
beer, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
good. We
is.
got a puka here.
from Irish folklore. Just to tie it back to the whole thing.
Now it's all
Um,
canon in Ben's world.
As the now you fucked.
Just wrapping it all in, and we were really in Hibernian.
Yeah.
Twist.
You've taken away from this.
Sorry.
So, like the crowd sounds disperse, the chattering skulls stop, and you start searching through the necromancer's book.
Bit rude, but yeah.
Well,
kill
Tip
it.
Tango does.
It's all
Okay,
it's
Rip
all a
off his
bunch
spine,
of
I'm like
squiggles.
straight into the book.
This man was speaking in tongues.
No, that's halfling.
Nothing makes sense.
I
As you-
recognize that.
As Vice, as you say the word halfling, the final sigil lights
Oh
up.
no.
Oh, for the love of God.
Sort of as you recognize it, like actually that word does look like the word halfling, and that looks like someone couldn't quite spell the word elf, and like by association, these are all like the known races of like your worlds, which sort of might bridge the gap. And then the wall behind is kind of, and it's rather than changing from the cold barren sounds of the cave you've been living in, you see these like rolling green fields and birds flying through the air. And Tip Tango kind of paused and she was like, oh my God, it actually worked.
What do you mean?
I didn't think this was going to work, but City of Treasures, Forgotten Land, Portal to a Different World was also some wording that I chose to keep from you.
Yes, I don't remember you saying that, or
What-
any of
what-
the previous things.
Well,
I
What are
don't
you
remember a
talking
lot.
about?
Yeah.
I only signed up for a wrestling gig.
Well, there was supposed to be a City of Treasure. I may have omitted that we might be leaving Hybrasil.
If we're not in Hybrasil, where the hell will we be?
What's
Well,
this?
we are now. No, we are now. But if you're up for a bit of crack, well,
What is this word? Crack.
yeah, sort of a
Not
word,
a halfling word. I'll tell you that much. Not a goblin one.
not a goblin one, but it's a Hibernian word. That's where that is. That's sort of apparently where I'm from. And I'm going, and she jumps through the portal. Do you follow her, or do you head back up?
Tip Tango, talk me more into it.
I mean, if he's not going, then I am going.
balls.
Yeah. I see the
Grow some balls.
I see-
I've got plenty of balls.
She pops back up from the side. No, I can hear you. No, you should come through. It's a bit of crack. No, like, you know.
matter moving two different ways through a Stargate. Sorry.
No, it's honestly, it's more like a gateway. I made sure the iris was open. It's fine.
I see that he's hesitating, and I immediately bolt because I don't want to stick around.
You go through the gateway.
yeah.
Well, both of my only friends are going. I suppose I should go as well. My family never really wanted me here after all. Well,
You turn back to see your like dismembered family members behind you.
goodbye, Aunt Petunia. Goodbye, Uncle Heineken. Goodbye, Uncle Beaverton. I'll miss you all. Your
The
laughter.
gateway starts to close.
Your song. Okay, sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, can he miss it?
Do I need to do a dex?
Actually, yeah, let's do a dex save to see if you make the portal or if you're too lost in your own pomp.
Oh no.
It's fine.
As you're waving goodbye to your family members, and you're left alone in the caverns of your murdered, risen family members.
Well, there's probably a lesson here somewhere.
And that's where we're going to leave tonight's sessions.
Wow. Wow. One did not guess you were going there. Sorry about the.
No, it's
know,
like, as you said
the
it,
last
I
minute.
was like, I wonder if I can twist this to be still funny, but I was like, they won't see this coming.
Well, they didn't. I mean, I still didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
No, me either.
I also sorry about
No,
No.
disparaging your character.
like he's
It's
not
perfect.
gone.
It's perfect.
He is gone. He's in High
He's in
Brazil.
his other world.
He's in High Brazil.
So as in this, so Hybrasil is in the fiction of the world of Hibernian, just not the country, I would think, for
It's a
want of a better
plane.
word.
It's a
Because
different plane.
in the fiction, Hybrasil was this island that only appeared every 7 years. So it is in the same sort of continent.
Turn an oak, like, or whatever.
I think that sort of style. I'm not
Okay.
super read up on it, which I should be. But it's
I'm
it's
sure
in,
Ben will
it's in
love
this,
this
it's on
bit
this
when he's
yeah,
rewatching
it's on the same
what we
planet.
did.
So like you Lagunitas exists somewhere, but just you might have a harder time getting to
back
Hibernia.
advice, yeah.
Yeah.
Vice isn't going looking for him. I don't know.
No, he's not. I don't think.
No one who has ever met him will go looking
Yeah.
for him.
No. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the lads for playing. Thank you to the tech guys for running the show. We'll be back to our regular episode format 2 weeks from now,
time.
when Ben will be back in this chair, cleaning up the fucking debris that we've left behind, trying to salvage some of the hard work he's put in. We miss you, Ben. Come back. Until next time, sign off. Actually, one thing I'm going to say is at the moment, Dublin Fringe Festival is happening. And a friend of the show, Heber Hanley,
yes.
is running with Dream Gun doing film reads. If you're in Ireland or want to travel to Ireland, you should check them out. They're doing like...
Definitely traveled to Ireland specifically to see the shows.
If you're looking to see them in the Fringe, don't be fooled by the Fringe website. Smock Alley also have tickets, even though they seem like they're sold out.
Yeah,
So-
it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
They've like they're adding extra dates and stuff, I think, as well.
Yeah,
But they're doing like they rewrite scripts from famous films and then recite it live with people playing different characters. But not all the cast have read the script, so it's kind of they do. I think they're doing Die Hard,
Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
Lord
Willy
of the
Wonka and the
Rings.
Chocolate Factory, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They're
doing
doing a whole bunch
Lion
of different
King.
films each
Yeah.
time. Different
It's
one.
but if you're
They're
not able to
amazing.
get to that, they do a podcast that's fantastic. So I just felt that was a very fitting plug.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
around for Dublin Fringe, absolutely check them out. There's also Dublin and Naggins, which is I haven't
Oh, yeah,
seen.
we've not watched. But
No,
I mean,
no
it's
idea.
a-
But it's a nerdy as fuck live show.
Dungeons-
It's exactly
Dungeons
what
and Naggins
we'd
is
be
a great
into.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant name.
So that's it, I guess.
Nice.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Stay glued to the internet where we exist. And
We don't exist outside of the internet.
no, we die now.
No.
We're about to die. We're going to die in 5 seconds. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Tell my
Goodbye
mother I love
forever.
her. Okay, bye. I'm sorry, Ben.